Today we look at Romans chapter 14 and verse 4. And Paul asks an interesting question. Who are you to judge someone else's servant? Very interesting. We love to judge someone else. We love to talk about how our brother and sister should do this or that. How they would be so much better if they just followed what you tell them to do. You're not the boss. They answer to God. And they're God's servant. And so it's incumbent on them, it's necessary for them to please God, not you. And not me. What is our obligation? Our obligation is to encourage and teach if need be. But what Paul is telling us here is, if you don't like what they're doing, keep your mouth shut. And oh, by the way, if you want to say something to somebody, then feel free. Go to them personally and privately and tell them how you feel. And, as believers, if you're the one and someone's coming to you and you're doing what God wants you to do, you feel free to tell them, hey, thanks. I'm doing what the Lord wants me to do. You see, here's the whole heart of the matter. Is that God deals with you and I individually, and He has expectations for you and I individually. You might be a far better Christian than me, and yet I might be more pleasing to God. Why? Because God expects me to grow where I am and develop where I am and follow Him where I am. And He expects it differently of you because our growth is progressive. We don't become a believer and all of a sudden become this great superstar Christian. No, it takes time. And over time, our obligation is simply to follow what the Lord has asked us to do at that time. And we grow as just the same as a baby grows, we grow. So at different points in our lives, we might be in different stages and yet more pleasing not having grown as much. Here's the whole point. Here's the whole point. You see somebody and you go, I want to tell them. Well, go over and have a private conversation with them. Keep your mouth shut. And realize, God's going to deal with them, not you. It's not your place. It's not your right. It's nowhere near anything that you're responsible for. We need to keep our mouths shut, encourage privately, and let God be their master, not us. Want to read the whole devotional? Go to the link at the bottom of the page. We'll see you tomorrow.